Morning, guys. Today we're going to talk about a Ford F-150 Lariat 2011. I was having issues with the sound, regarding the blind door actuator, something like this. It's a little tap that you get to hear. Every time you get into your car. I looked up a lot of videos on YouTube and whatnot to show me how to do it, which it made my life a lot easier. But one thing I did not notice, or I didn't know, was that the actuator was in a different location than most of the videos were at. So I figured this would be a good way to show you what is some of the struggles that I had with, and hopefully help you out with it. So I've already taken everything apart, so I'm kind of going to make it a little bit easier and faster, and hopefully it'll be a little more informative. So I first started it taking apart the screws right here. They are 7mm and they look something like this. They are universal. I mean, there's several of them throughout the dashboard area, so you won't have too much trouble putting it back together. So again, 7mm, and then there's two of them. First, you gotta prop the little plastic that you have in there, and they're right underneath. Next, as you will see probably in most videos, they talk about the sync connector where the USB goes. You also gotta prop this little guy open. Once you prop it open, you disconnect all the little pieces that come with it, and you just put it away. Once you have done that, for those that have the metal part like this, I was having a little bit of trouble, so I looked up another way to do it, and it showed that I needed to remove the center console. So I removed this piece, and for that you will need one of the star protectors. There's three of them that connect there, and it's a TR13, if I'm not mistaken. So, and it looks something like that. There's three of them that you'll have to take apart, and that armrest will come off, which will allow you to remove this trim. As some of the other videos also talk about, you also have to take apart this side panels, which are super easy to take away. You just gotta basically prop them open. Just prop it open, and they'll come right out. There is one on each side for the driver and the passenger side. As you can see, I've already taken it off, as I mentioned before. Next, you have to prop the this trim right here, this part, which is a little bit harder. Once you've taken the screws out of the dashboard and whatnot, in order for you to remove this, you have to take this one apart. So you just prop it pretty easy. They come up really quickly. It's not that hard. You just put a little pressure and they'll come right off. Once you take that one off, you just put it away safely and carefully without breaking any of the trim or anything. And you will see that what do I do next? Oh yeah, so in order for you to get this part removed, you have to lose this trim out, this part of it. So I was having issues with it because that was one thing that I did not see in the videos of YouTube. When you have the center console right here, like the shifter, you have to shift all of this whole center console back. In order to do that, as you will see in most of the videos, there is all you have to do is, forgive me for the sound in the background, You just have to push forward your seat. So 2 of them. You have to loosen up a screw right here. Again, it's a 7 or 8 millimeter. And then you go in the back. And there's another one there that you would have to remove. So once you remove this screw, which is a 7 millimeter, and the one from the back of the seat, which will be located right back there, you have one for the passenger side and one for the driver's side. The ones from the back will look something like this. Once you remove it, it is an 8 millimeter that you'll need to remove, and just put it away so that you don't loosen them up. Once you remove that, it's super easy. All you gotta do is you prop this plastic open. It doesn't take that much pressure or that much strength to remove it. Once you do that, you just, sorry, I'm doing this one hand. Once you remove it, you just put the thing out, put it to the back, and then you see all the connections. So as you're taking things apart, don't forget to loosen up the connectors. One thing I did forget was when you're taking the sink area, there's another screw right there, a small one, that you have to take it off. Once you loosen all that up, you'll be able to get this one loose, this side. So once you slide the center console, as you can see, this is the part I was having issues with. There is a connector there, and there's also an 7 millimeter screw that you have to take off before you can loosen up this trims, this moldings. So once you slide this guys out, and there's one on each side from the driver and the passenger side. So make sure you take that off, otherwise you're gonna end up if you try to force it out, you're gonna break it. Once you remove that, you just loosen this up slowly and carefully. And you don't have to shift or move anything else. As I noticed in other videos saying that you need to disconnect the shifter and all this other stuff. You don't have to do that. You can just slide this thing out. Once you loosen this enough, you just gotta wiggle this part out, the center console out, and it'll come just right out. It's a little wiggle. It won't break, but you just gotta do it nicely. And then you come to the navigation, radio, and why not, that you'll need to take off as well. And for that, you'll need one of this. There is 4 that you'll need to take off. One on top and the bottom from both sides. As long as you just take the navigation out, you'll be all set, which we'll show you in a minute once I take this off. Once you've taken the navigation out, there's a couple connectors, so just be careful and just be nice when you're taking it off. And then you'll come up to, you'll have the whole section open, and this is where it came. This is where the tricky part for me that it came out. So most YouTube videos that I saw mentioned that the actuator, which is right there, this guy right here, sorry, this guy right here is supposed to be under, like right where the air duct goes. I found that is not the case for the 2011 Lariat, so I had to figure a way about it because it's right on top of an air box. On the other videos it said that it was just underneath the air duct and whatnot, but it isn't. This one is on top. So what I ended up doing, once I took the navigation out, it was so much easier to get to it. You will have to prop open this little red tab, and then the connector that goes right there So the front screw is super easy. It's super easy. It's also a 7mm, but sorry, an 8mm. But the one that gave me the most trouble with was the one in the rear. And what I end up doing is what I'm going to show you next. So, as most of them will tell you to loosen up the glove compartment, that is true. Oh, a lot of videos that I saw said that you needed to loosen this brackets back here. You don't. This one's right here. You don't have to, because again, if it's the same problem that you had with as mine, you don't need to like mess with that at all. So as you can see, this box is what was in the middle. On all the other videos that I saw did not have that box showing. Most of them were showing that the actuator was right underneath here, which that is one of them. There's another one in there, but we're trying to switch the one in the back on the top. So once I was able to, so what I did, it's a very tight spot in there. Oh, and that's a little red tab. So what I end up doing, I basically pulled all these cables that are back here. You see all those cables right here. I pull them down. There's just a clip that holds them. You can just pull them out so that you can actually put your hand right through it. And as long as you don't have a big hands, you should be okay. So the actuator is right up there. As you can see, maybe you can't see it, but it's right there. That was the hardest part for me to move once I got to it because of the space restrictions. So once I got to it, it took me about 10 minutes. I'd used I ended up going through the glove compartment as well as the dashboard area where the radios go and whatnot, and I was able to remove it. It took me a little while, but you just got to be patient with it. The one in the back it takes a little while, so I already removed it. So I'm gonna get this one out of it, and this is what it looks like once you remove the connection. So this is the connector. This is the front, and this little guy right here is the one that takes the most trouble. Will give you the most trouble to release. So just be patient with it, and then you'll find the part. I bought it from Ford itself. It cost me $30-some. So it was in some of the other stores they were quoting me of 40s, or yeah, in the 40s and 20s and whatnot. So when I got to the dealer, they said it was like $33 or something like that. It's the original part, so I bought that one. And this is what the part looks like. This is the original, or the one that I just took off, and this is the new one that we're gonna put on today. So once you put it on and switch it, once you're able to put it back on, hopefully we'll take away the problem or the sound. But just keep in mind that there's 3 different actuators on this 2011 F-150 Lariat. So hopefully this is gonna give you some help. Like I said, I am not a professional by any means necessary, so this is a DIY, do-yourself DIY that I was able to accomplish just looking through videos and researching a little bit here and there. So hopefully this can help you with your tasks. Have a good day. Bye.